Good evening and welcome to round numbers 5 and 6 of the SBR Decal Labs GT3 season. We are here at Fuji for tonight. As per usual, we've got our usual competitors. We've also got a couple of new ones. Richie Macy in the number 92 Corvette, he is here to stay. He has been turned into a regular member. Unfortunately, Ben Smith has had to pull out. It's a bit of a shame. But we do. You'll find them. There is one of them. Paul Robson, number 66, R8, liveried as DTM Claro of, I believe, Fittipaldi, as qualifier gets underway. Yeah, he... And we also have... We've just gone up the order. That's Clifford, number 8. Yes, there he is. Harry Green. In the number 91 Benetton liveried McLaren. Should be... He wants an interesting to see how he gets on tonight. But as usual, we have Thompson. Oh, we also have Alex Austin in the Brawn liveried NSX. There is Robson. But we have Callum Cripps in a special Japanese livery for tonight. There's Clifford in the number 10 Jaguar. Green, Siafakas in the number 2 Silk Cut Jaguar. There is Macy in the number 92. McEwen in the Need for Speed BMW. Bristow in the Sega Toyota. Hardy in the Track Addict Porsche. A little bit of lag there. There's Thompson in his Porsche. PNC Bank, that's what his title sponsor is. Adams is Harper Adams University. That is Piper in the Sky, number 99 Ferrari. Brian Ross in the number 62 Corvette. Austin in the Brawn GP NSX. And Robson finishing off our field. We are missing Edwards, unfortunately, tonight, by the looks of things. Into turn 1, Clifford. Oh, don't know what's happened. Green obviously not happy about Summit. Clifford, and there goes Thompson, almost having a bit of a spin out of turn 1. Green not happy about something then. Cripps getting overtaken by Clifford. Clifford went deep. So it means Cripps is going to have a one-lap flyer here. He's not going to be too happy. So Macy's going to be the first man to complete a lap as he comes down into the Nadry little chicane. Corbett doing well. We'll see if Fakas just behind, and then Hardy in the Porsche. Hardy needs to get rid of that penalty. So 2.827 miles of Fuji. It has 16 corners. As we start getting times in, see if I can quicker than Macy. Let's go down near the back. Oh, and something's happened coming out of the final corner. So Hardy spins it, tries to get going again. Well, Cripps has already had a moment and unfortunately gone into the side of Hardy there. I do believe that means here comes Cripps across the start-finish line. So down to turn 1, we'll go for a lap with Cripps. Hit the brakes into turn 1. Through turn 2. And up to turn 3, the Coca-Cola corner. Turn 4, the 100R turns into turn 5 as well. It just nips up on the exit here. Then turn 6, the hairpin. Hit the brakes. Down to second, just clipping the curb, getting the run on the way out. Turn 7, turn 8. Turns into turn 9. Then turns 10 and 11. Goes into 12 through this little tight chicane. Turn 13. Off camber. Got to be careful if you go wide. That goes into turns 14. Then into 15. Now 15 tightens and it's again off camber. So you've got to be nice and tight to it. Try not get the back end too leery. Turn 16 again, long right hander that tightens on the apex. Not off camber, but still tricky enough. You don't want to end up on the AstroTurf on the outside. So far, Adams is on pole position, 137.4. What can Cripps do? He comes up to the line. He puts it second on the grid. Just 49,000. No, sorry. Just under 2/10 behind Adams. There's Adams in the pits. Harry Green on his debut, putting it third. He's just under quarter of a second behind Adams in the McLaren. And there's Austin. He's going to be happy with that. 4th place on the grid. And there we go, their session finally ends, so there's confirmation. Adams on pole position for the endurance race here tonight. The rows begin to rise. Take away the names of the drivers. So we're going to have the 3 red lights here at Fuji. We got 5 up the gantry, but here we go. We are green. Who's got the best getaway? Not a great angle to be on the start line, but we're underway still. See if Agus looking down the inside of Austin there, coming down towards turn number 1. A little bit of tapping, bit of a bumping, bit of a squeeze on there for green from, I believe that was Austin. Or it could have been Piper, actually. It looks like it might have been Piper just giving green the squeeze. And we're good through turn 1 into turn 3. We've got away cleanly. That's always the best part of this race. So Adams leads from Cripps, from Siafakas, from Austin, from Thompson. Thompson under a little bit of attack from Piper. Green trying to defend his place. from Macy. That McLaren now down into 8th. He is on the soft compounded tyre, but Macy on the medium, so he's making... Oh, that was a bit of contact in front. That was Thompson, maybe going in a bit deep, but we'll go back and have a look, because now Clifford is under attack from the NFS BMW of McEwen, and he just... Oh, that's not ideal. Now Hardy goes down the inside. McEwen... Oh, that's not ideal. 2 bad re-entries in reality in one. Macy still in 7th at the moment. There is Hardy in 9th. There's McEwen in 10th. That is Robson and Thompson behind. Just go back, see what happened to Thompson down into the chicane. Gonna hit the brakes, just that the car just doesn't slow down. He didn't actually hit anyone, which is good news. And the inside of McEwen and Ross through turn 1. So Thompson now up into the top 10. That Audi working wonders right now. Austin is ahead of Cripps. I wonder how he done that. Replay market. Hopefully we'll be able to go back and see that in a minute. There is Siafakis. There's Piper. Followed by Green. Followed by Macy, and Bristow's all over the back of Macy here, going into the hairpin. Macy, the number 92 Corvette. 6 laps they have to stay on the medium tyres for. So Macy getting the pain out of the way now, in the hope that he can regain any time loss here later on in the race. And Hardy, that was a very ambitious double overtake. He almost made it work. A bit more contact between Macy and Hardy coming out of the chicane, but it looks like they've managed to settle it down. Thompson now right on their tails as they head up through to turn 15. Hardy down the inside of Macy. Does get the move done this time. Those mediums really starting to struggle compared to the fresh, softer compounded tyres at this stage of the race. The Corvette gets all out of shape coming out of 16. And here comes McEwen and Thompson. Thompson practically pushing McEwen down the road. Thompson goes to the inside of McEwen. Hits the brakes, gets a little bit wiggly under the braking zone, but is okay. And Macy's run wide, so Thompson makes a nice double overtake there, and he's got Hardy for good measure. Down towards turn number 3. Still side by side through the Coca-Cola curve, but Thompson gets through. Super softs work. I believe the soft tyres for Thompson. No, super soft. They're working really well here. Oh, bit of contact between Hardy and Thompson going into the hairpin. Thompson a bit wide. Hardy doesn't gain the place though. Good driving. McEwen overtaking Macy in the background there as well. Meanwhile, Cripps having a look around the outside of Austin through the chicane. Austin gives him the space, just about a car's width. Lexus versus NSX, and Piper looking to join in the fray. He's now looking down the inside of Cripps. He's also got ahead of Siafakis. Once again, oh, Piper getting the better exit, but can't quite do anything with it yet. He's got to be careful, has Piper, because Siafakis right behind, and Green is catching up, but Adams is still leading. Bristow on his own in 7th at the moment. Not happening, but Austin. Oh, that looks like Green in the background. Maybe looking to make a move on Siafakis, but not quite being able to just yet. On board with the McLaren. Into the Coca-Cola corner. Look at the line. That's a much better line from Green. He's wider through 4. Maybe looking to... He's kept it wide through 5 as well. I was expecting him to kind of switch back, but he makes it work though. He overtakes Siafakis down the inside of the hairpin, but Siafakis now coming back at us on the left-hand side. You can just see there. See Vakas can't quite get the place around the outside. As we look back ahead. Bit of a wiggle through 14. Getting on the curb. Question is, who's going to pit first? Remember, they start off with full tank of fuel. Absolutely 100 litres of fuel they start with. And then their strategies come in as to how much fuel they need. There's Robson down in 13th in the Audi R8. There is Ross in the second Corvette. But we're going to have got side-by-side action now between Austin and Cripps. And we've also got Green and Piper behind. Cripps looks like he's got the move made there. Piper's going to lose out to Green into turn 1 as well. Simple overtakes, just using the slipstream, pulling out, making the move on the inside. You're almost better off not defending round here. And just not losing that time, because time around Fuji is very precious. If you fight too much, you will lose a lot of time around here, and it makes it very, very hard to catch back up. But Cripps still hasn't got Austin off his tail yet. Austin's still looking. As we enter the Nadgery chicane. Austin needs to work with Cripps. He could potentially get on the back of Adams. But not only that, it's weird looking, but it looks like the soft tyre is actually wearing faster than the super softs at this stage of the race. And Austin is going to go down the inside up towards turn 1 using the slipstream. And Austin will go back ahead. I think this fight is just going to keep going like that at the moment. In the background though, Thompson and Hardy going side by side down towards turn number 3. Porsche versus Aston, this for 8th place. McEwen has got past the pair of them. We're on to lap 6, so anyone who's on the medium compounded tyre right now will most likely be coming into the pits for their first stop at the end of this lap. Thompson getting overtaken there by Hardy, and in the foreground you can see McEwen is now past Bristow. I don't know what tyres Bristow is on. I think Bristow just went Bob mode. Yeah, because now Hardy down the inside. Oh, a bit of a tap from Bristow. On the exit there, and Thompson's going to get him into 13. Yeah, job not quite done, because Bristow's managed to hang around the outside. Into 14 and 15 he'll have the inside line, but it's whether he's got a better line coming out of 16, and the problem is that Aston Martin is not slow in a straight line. It's pretty quick, that Aston Martin. We've got our first stoppers of the day. In fact, almost everyone is coming in. Bristow does stay out, looking for an overcut. But Harry Green now leads this race. Austin is ahead of Cripps, who's ahead of Piper. Piper a little bit squirrely coming out of turn 1. But here is your new race leader for now. It's Harry Green on the soft compound of tyres. The Benetton McLaren. The Braun Honda NSX currently in second. There's Cripps. Siafakas is, I think everyone has kind of jumped Adams here, but Adams does tend to take, yes, he's got 3/4 of a tank of fuel. He's on the medium compound tyre, so he'll be looking to maybe go 6 laps. And maybe try his next stop being with no additional fuel. Because obviously you cannot fuel whilst the tyres are being changed. The tyres get changed, then you fill up the car. So what you lose now by filling up the car for potentially the remainder of the race, although probably not this early on, you will gain back in a later pit stop. Adams right on the tail of Bristow. Bristow's going to come into the pits this time around. And Green is also in the pits. Here he comes. He is out in second for the minute. Yes, he's out in second, so Harry Green has made the overcut work an absolute treat, and he brings himself out into second place, ahead of Cripps and Piper. He's gone for a set of medium tyres now. Super softs for Austin, mediums for Cripps, mediums for Piper. See, mediums for Adams. Adams, who was leading this race. Mediums for Siafakas, mediums at the moment. Mediums for McEwen, mediums for Hardy, super softs for Macy. Remember, Macy has already done his stint on the medium compounded tyre, so this is where he's going to look to make that time back up. Bristow back on the super soft tyre. Clifford, we haven't seen much of him, but he's on the mediums. Thompson on the mediums. Robson on the mediums. And Ross currently on the soft compounded tyre. So in this phase of the race, expect Austin to build a gap out front. He's on a softer compounded tyre. In fact, he's 2 compounds softer than the guys behind him. So he'll be looking to make those work as long as they can to build a gap and hopefully keep that first place after the next round of pit stops. Cripps down the inside though. Basic move, pretty standard Fuji GP move. Green right on the tail of Cripps coming out of the hairpin. Still not a lot going on between those two at the moment, so McEwen, Siafakas quite close on track. Siafakas on the medium, I don't know if Siafakas actually came in a lap earlier because he has got slightly more worn medium compounded tyre. And the Jaguar seemingly not liking it at the moment. On the mediums, there is Hardy. Macy just behind. And he's catching Hardy at a rate of knots. On board then with the Corvette as we enter turn 16. Should be an easy overtake into turn 1 for the American car. Macy coming up to the back of the Porsche, pulls out to the right hand side, into 6th gear. The job is already done, and 8th place is Macy's, no trouble at all as they hit the brakes into turn 1. Macy not quite getting it stopped in time though, and is given Jay Hardy a bit of a sniff of blood on the exit. Can't quite make it work, but Macy definitely didn't do himself any favourites. He does currently have the fastest lap of the race though, 1:37.9. I'm sure that will gradually come down as the fuel wears off and later pit stops come in, because Austin now has a 3.0 second lead on lap number 10. Cripps has still got Green right behind him right now. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle for Green. Green gets the move done though, but down the straight the Lexus looks to be a quicker machine. It's a complete and utter drag race down the main straight towards turn number 1. Green should have the inside line. Cripps goes wider, trying to optimise his line in and line out, but Green puts his car there very nicely, but all the meanwhile these guys are fighting. Austin is creating a more of a gap. Now, even though Austin himself has to go on the medium compound tyre, the more of a gap he builds now, the easier it will be later on. Further back, oh, Piper all over the AstroTurf. Gets overtaken by Adams in the meantime, but he's very lucky to be facing the correct way. He's the Sky number 99. That could have been a very horrible spin for him. There's McEwen, there is Macy. There's Hardy, not really the back end of the field. Just all a bit spread out at the moment, but fear not, that should come good near the end of the race. Green has managed to break away somewhat from Cripps. Piper in the Forza Italia GT3. Trying to keep up now with Adams. Down the main straight, but nothing really coming of it. Not a lot happening on circuit, I'm afraid, at the moment, but we will try and capture any battles that are on. There's Adams. Just coming out of turn 1 here on lap number 12. We're coming up towards the halfway point of this race already. Cripps is losing touch now with Green. The problem is Green, what was his last lap? His last lap was 1:38.8. Austin, whose tyres are gradually fading, done a 1:38.4, so he is losing time to Austin still at the moment. Austin with a 4.4 second gap, doing a lovely job up front at the moment. I think he'll either be in this lap or next lap. Looking at his fuel. It wouldn't surprise me if all the medium runners also come in this lap as well. Yes, here comes Austin. He's going into the pit lane now. Obviously, Green can't come in yet, because he pitted one lap later than everyone. Here comes Cripps into the pits. Adams stays out on his medium compound tyre, so that's an interesting strategy from Adams. You see a lot of people going into the pits now for their second stops. Adams 5 seconds away from Green at the moment. Number 91 McLaren. He made the overcut work last time around. Can he do it again? See the overcut to where someone pits later and gains a place. So Bristow is out of sync at the moment in this race. He is in 4th, but he's not technically 4th at the moment because he is to make a pit stop this lap, I believe, on those super soft tyres. Same with Thompson, he is out of sync as well on his medium compound. He is currently 6th. So yeah, Fakas has a Porsche behind, and I believe Macy has somehow, in the pit stops, whether has he taken on less fuel? I believe yes he has. He has. Macy's taken on more fuel than the Porsche ahead of him, which is why Hardy has managed to jump him in the pit stops. But super softs for the Corvette, soft tyres for the Porsche. And in comes green. Adams continues. So Adams really going long on this set of medium tyres then, as he goes on to lap 14 to start the second half of this race. There goes Austin. Here comes Krebs. Where does Green come out? There's Green there. He's in 3rd place. Now 2.2. He has made the overcut work to a degree, because Austin now only 2.2 up the road from him. That used to be about 4.5. Number 91 Benetton McLaren making these overcuts work, which is great to see, because usually it's the undercuts which are more powerful in GT Sport. Meanwhile, once again, not a lot of action on track. So what's happened to Jay? Track Alex, Jay Hardy. He's obviously had a bit of a moment somewhere. He's lost 2 places. That's because there's not a lot going on. Let's just see if we can capture anything. The answer is no, so we'll just return back to the action. Bristow, after making a pit stop, now down in 11th place. Robson, not too far, 2.1 behind Ross. These two probably due to pit soon. Clifford, currently in 14th, again, will probably make up some positions when Robson and Ross come into the pits. Adams now pits from his medium compound tyre here on lap number 14. He has just 12 laps to go, and I've got a feeling he'll be going on super soft strategy, 6 laps each, so he's only got one more stop to make, I believe. But the Austin on the medium compound tyre now, which means he will be losing time to Green behind. As Green is now on the soft compound of tyre, as is Cripps. So these two should be will be catching up Austin. The question is, what does Austin do when Green gets there? McEwen currently with the fastest lap of 1:37.2. Green just runs a bit wide through the hairpin. On board with Green as he sets a purple sector 2. He's now just 4/10 behind that NSX. Austin's going to struggle on those medium compound tyres. Just 11 laps to run into the final corner. You see Austin trying to get every corner as squared up as possible so we can lay the power down early. And here comes Green. Just see the NSX alongside us now. The thing is, Green's not going to be enough ahead to really take the racing line, so he's going to go in tight. On board now with the NSX of Austin as they come in to turn through the Coca-Cola corner. Oh, a bit of a twitch. Those medium tyres are really not giving much grip out to the drivers today. That looks like job done from Green. He's now leading the race and already has a 7/10 gap. Cripps can't quite close down the leading duo at the moment, but here is the fight for 4th place now. McEwen has managed to overtake Piper. Down to the chicane. Piper looks to the inside, thinks better of it. Probably a wise idea. Piper's got to be careful because Adams behind is really out of sync really in this race. He's got fresh tyres on. And I believe he's only got one more stop to make now. Whereas I believe a lot of the other drivers will have 2 more stops currently to make in this race. So Adam's strategy by going long on the mediums may pay dividends here at the end of the race. So he looks to overtake the Ferrari down into turn 1. Can't quite do it, which is surprising. That Aston Martin, very, very quick in a straight line. I'm surprised he hasn't got the Ferrari there, but the Ferrari does have the slipstream of McEwen just ahead. Through the Coca-Cola corner. These 3 not really helping each other out. I mean, in reality, they could work together here to try and close down Cripps in 3rd place. But here comes Adams down the inside of Piper. And he does make that move. Well, he tries to make that move, but it's not quite worked. Very hard to make a move into that chicane. You're better off waiting for... Oh, McEwen having a bit of a slide and a bit of a tap there from Adams to Piper. Adams, his race is now starting to get hindered by Piper as we head into the final corner. It's McEwen again on the exit of the chicane. Big slide on the exit, not what he would be looking for. Again, Adams can't... Oh, here comes Piper. He's now looking for a move. He's on the outside of McEwen. Here comes Adams. Would he make it 3 wide? No, he won't. And Piper squeezing his way past McEwen in the BMW. And Adams is going to follow him through on the exit of turn 1 up to the Coca-Cola corner. So 2 places lost for McEwen in 2 corners. Adams though, he's going to be fuming at the moment. He just can't seem to get past that Ferrari, and he's putting his strategy in a bit of jeopardy. He needed clean air to make this work, in my opinion, but he's now having a look at Piper down towards the chicane once again. He's on the outside. Again, that's not going to work, but on the exit, if he's got a better line... Flash of the lights, and yes, he's gone down the inside. Adams through into 4th. He's now got 5.6 seconds to Cripps ahead of him, and that is the issue. He'll be pitting in a couple of laps' time. Starting to wonder, the guys ahead are stretching their stint quite nicely right now. So he's going to make it even worse here for Adams as Piper now comes in the pits for what will probably be his final stop of the night. Meanwhile, Austin doing a lovely job on those medium compounded tyres right now. You can see he's probably going to go to lap 20 before he pits, but obviously constantly losing time to Green, who is your race leader at the moment in the number 91 Benetton McLaren. There's Thompson, we haven't seen much of him. He's been on his own a little bit, but he's got Piper just behind. Probably wise to let the Ferrari through. It's not his fight to be in. He'll just cost himself more time if he's not careful. He's on the super soft tyres, which means I believe probably in about a 2 laps time, looking at that tyre wear and fuel wear, we'll be seeing that Aston Martin into the pits. To PNC bank number 43. As he enters the final section of the circuit. Piper down the inside at turn 15 though. Good opportunistic move. Thompson runs a bit wide. Just about keeps it in check. Cripps is in the pits. This is interesting. So Cripps looking for an undercut. Oh, that's Bristow. He's gone off. That's an interesting place to go for Bristow there. Let's have a look at the build-up of it. So he's come through turn 14 and 15 up to 16. What's he done here? Oh, he's got on the grass. It's a rookie error in reality for Bristow. Very rookie. On the grass, on the final corner, and you're always going to go around, I'm afraid. Let's come in the pits. There is Cripps. A new set of soft tyres for him then. I reckon we're going to see Green and Austin in the pits this time around. And I reckon they'll be on super soft tyres. I'd also like to point out at this stage that we've had 4 races so far in the Decal Labs GT3 League and 4 different winners. It's been a fantastic set of races so far. Obviously Edwards winning round 1 at Catalunya. Round 2, the sprint race of Catalunya, Green's in the pits now, was won by Bristow. Round 3 won by this man at Bathurst, Callum Cripps. Round 4 was won by Paris Siafakas. You see the top 3 are in the pits now. Where does Cripps come out? I think Green is now coming out in first place. Yes, he is. Can Cripps get ahead of the NSX? There's the NSX now. The answer is no, and there's Adams. Adams has closed right in on this battle now. It's only 1.5 away. Austin in second place, fresh super soft tyres. So in reality, he should have the advantage over Cripps for the remainder of this race. He's been going for 34 minutes. Impressive stuff at the moment. There's Piper in 5th. He is ahead of McEwen. Macy is currently 7th and doesn't need to stop again. Although I must admit, I don't think that's a Camaro. You just see on the front there and the rear, he's got Camaro. I'm believing that might be like a NASCAR livery. I'm going to take a punt of some description. Yeah, the Canada's Live number 92. I can definitely assure you that's a Corvette. There's There's Thompson, the back end of the grid, just very spread out. Very unlike this group of drivers, but here comes Cripps. Looking down the inside of Austin for second place, he gets it as well. A little bit of a jink of lag, but he's got that place done. To the outside, Austin won't give this one up. I think these two have now considered the race win gone. 8.5 the gap to Green. So Cripps, what can he do from here? He can lose second place is what he can do. Just have another look at that. Just down the inside of just down the inside. Weirdly enough, hardly anyone's managed to make that move stick, but the super soft tyres compared to the softs are so much better that Austin was able to make that move. Fantastic scenes. And there is Adams. He's on super soft tyres as well. Piper. Down the main straight they go. Cripps right on the back of Austin. Austin, they're doing a fantastic job in second with that NSX. You just see Green getting away, 9.1 seconds now. McEwen still holds the fastest lap of the race at 1:37.2. Nearing 40 minutes of race time. These guys have had to concentrate for. On board, looking back from Austin then. Second to third. 0.6 of a gap is what that looks like in racing terms. And just see, even without traction control, that NSX seems very planted coming out of corners. .4 the gap at the moment. 1:37.9 for Austin as he goes across the line. Piper in the pits. That's an interesting call. Going to bolt on some super soft tyres. I can pretty much assure you that one. He's got 7 seconds to make up on McEwen here in the space of 3 laps. That could be a difficult ask because McEwen's been doing relatively stable lap times. Looking at the tower on the right hand side, there's been relatively stable. Yeah, the race is just very spread out. Here's your leader. He's still alive. He's 9.7 up the road from Austin. He's on the soft compounder tyre. Green in his debut race here in the SBR Decal Labs GT3 League, leading the way in his Benetton number 91 McLaren. What more could you want for a debut? On to the penultimate lap for him then. Cripps has dropped off the back of Austin. Adams isn't really on the back of Cripps. McEwen, again, 2 seconds further back. Piper has made up a second here of time on McEwen, but he's got 2 laps. He needs to rip out 3 seconds a lap here. not going to be easy. Cribs is losing a fair chunk of time here to Adams. His last lap was fine, but he's lost 4/10 this lap. Could we be seeing Adams making his late charge for that final podium spot? On board with the Aston Martin. Into the final sector of the circuit. Adams really careful on the exit of these corners, making sure he doesn't light the tyres up. .1 the gap, he is within slipstreaming range right now. As we start to reel in the Lexus ahead of us, Chris just makes a slight movement, try and break a bit of the toe. Although I've got a feeling I wonder if Adams is going to be concerned about his fuel level here. It's very, very low, and you see, I believe he was coasting partially into turn 1. But he can, that really horrible thing, your fuel's low, but you can see third in your sights and you are catching. See, Adams just seems to be that much more confident through the corners, hitting those apexes. Into the chicane he goes. .7. If you can get that down to about half a second, he may have a shout on the last straight. But we're going to go to this man because he has been flawless on this endurance race. Just under 45 minutes of racing, but he's going to come out on top. Harry Green wins at Fuji. A fantastic drive by the debutant and our 5th different winner in 5 different races. Here comes Austin. He's going to get home for 2nd place. Cripps, is he going to keep it? Here comes Adams. Adams by .023 misses out. Cripps in 3rd, Adams 4th, McEwen 5th. Piper is out of fuel, so it's going to be Macy who takes 6th place. Piper crawling to the line. Thompson claims 7th. Piper will get 8th in the end. He ran out of fuel at the end. Here comes Hardy. He's got Siafakas behind, but it looks like Hardy's going to maintain that. Siafakas, the Greek, in 10th. Bristow after that spin earlier on. He'll come home in 11th place. 12th for Clifford. It's had a bit of a quiet one, but nonetheless done well. Ross is in 13th. And the R8 of Robson will be 13th and last on the road. So here is your winner, Harry Green. Up 2 places. So confirmation of the top 12 there. Fantastic drive from Green there. Clifford has randomly left the session. Bit of a surprise that Clifford's left the room. That could be as simple as a disconnection issue. And someone called Groot has joined the lobby. Rob Showler, Groot 89. So let's get to the track, get some cars on your screen. We'll put Callum Cripps in the lovely Japanese-inspired Lexus liveried car. So where is Schola? He's in the number 10 Jaguar, obviously replacing Clifford. Unfortunately, Clifford is unable to do race number 2. Just show you a few of the cars whilst they go out practicing. Obviously, the grid has to be set by the host at the moment due to obviously people coming in and out. Normally they would just set it as a reverse grid. I believe everyone is in, but obviously it kind of messes up. So, we're going to get underway for the sprint race here at Fuji. Paul Robson is the man on pole position with the reverse grid. It's a rolling start as well, but luckily this is one of the circuits where if you start at the back, you don't have a disadvantage of starting mid-corner. Everyone starts on the straight. We are underway for the second time tonight. 10 laps of Fuji. Who's going to get the best start down into turn 1 with the slipstream train? Here comes Ross looking to the outside of the R8 of Robson. A bit of contact on the entry. Looks like Siafakas down the inside. Oh, that is Bristow off. We will go back and have a look at that. Ross now being overtaken by Siafakas. That is for second place. Siafakas down the inside. Siafakas already a race winner this season. High being overtaken here by Piper, and that looks like Thompson looking down the inside. Ooh, Hardy straight back at Thompson here. R80 Racing, yeah, good strategies. Most definitely some great racing as Thompson and Hardy still go wheel to wheel down towards the chicane for the first time of 10. Hardy looks like he's got that one settled. McEwen with Adams just behind. Adams, oh, that's a great move. He can pull this one off. Doesn't quite get it done, but a good effort from Adams. There. Where's Bristow gone? Is Bristow retired? Oh, looks like Bristow's retired, which is a bit of a shame. Let's see if we can see him again. I'm going to see a Siafakas. Oh, Bristow's just gone into the back of the Corvette. That's what's happened there. We haven't seen it, but we'll see if we can get it. Looks like it's just on the straight for Siafakas. Robson and Ross side by side into the hairpin. Can't quite make anything of it. Someone needs to beat Siafakas. I want to see a sixth different winner tonight for the season. If Siafakas wins tonight, it means he ruins the streak of different winners every race. Pipe down the inside of Ross. That's a great little move. And Hardy, ever the opportunist, goes down the inside as well. So Ross losing 2 places there. Robson now coming under attack from the Ferrari. We're getting the move done. And now Robson under attack from Hardy. Hardy looks at the inside of turn 1. Hits the brakes, turns into the corner, and third place is his. Aaron Green, fastest lap of the race so far. There's Cripps. Macy currently in 5th with McEwen just behind. I'm kind of willing Piper on to get to see a Fakas and win this race. I don't know what's happened here to Green, but he's not having the best of races. He's in 12th, just behind Bobby. Side by side. The chicane, the number 91 McLaren. Remember, he won the feature race. Still can't quite get past Toyota. He's finding it difficult here. We're on lap number 3. I'm expecting pit stops around lap number 5, 6. Here's Piper catching the Jaguar of Sia Fakas. Let's have a look at their times as they come across the line. 1:39.8 from Sia Fakas. 1:38.3, so Piper is catching. Sorry, 1:38.6 from Sia Fakas. And 1:38.3, so yeah, Piper's still catching, but at a little bit of a lesser rate. Cripps is past Macy. We'll just go back and have a look at that. Looks like McEwen went in the pits there. That's why Cripps is up into 5th then. He's already passed Macy. He's our fastest sector 1. McEwen opting for the early stop to try the undercut. Once again, but it seems like the overcut is just a touch more powerful around here. Oh, that's just behind. That is Scholar and Austin. Austin getting the move done. So up into 7th for Austin in the Brawl GP NSX. And there is Harry Green just behind, lurking in his Benetton McLaren. Although Scholar giving Austin a bit of a rough time going through turn 16. Doesn't quite get past him, but will get a bit of a slipstream now. Jaguar isn't that slow. Oh, Piper in the pits now with Cripps and Green in the pits as well. End of lap 4, interesting stuff. But Scholar gets back through against Austin. Austin now has Piper behind. He's on a fresh set of tyres. Rest of the super softs then for the Ferrari. I'm going to say that's probably too early to make your stops. Jay Hardy was 39.0 last time around. 39.2 for Sia Fakas. So Hardy is also catching Sia Fakas here. But Piper needs to get these moves done and quickly. He's 7.3 behind the leader. He's through on Austin into the chicane, so he's up now up into 6th place. So starting to make good progress. Ross is up in third as well. Sorry, Ross is in fourth still, so he's done a good race in this reverse grid. He's done a bit of a poor exit though, has Ross, and Scholler doesn't need that second invitation, but Piper just behind. Ross will follow the Jaguar into the pits. And it's Piper right on the back of Siafakas. This just got interesting. On board with the Ferrari. Siafakas had to cover. Siafakas running wide to the Coca-Cola corner. This is giving Piper an absolute dream shot here of a victory. He's got 4.5 laps to go. Piper to the inside, he's got it down the inside here. He's managed to make the move stick. A fantastic job from the 99 Ferrari. Can he keep it? He's not quite got the best exit out of the chicane. And now he's going to have Siafakas right behind him down the main straight. I would show others, but this is the battle for the lead. And if Piper wins, he makes it 6 winners out of 6. Good drive from Piper, but here comes Siafakas. Across the line. Harry Green puts in a 137.0. Piper having to defend into turn number 1. Siafakas just goes a little bit deep. Bit of door rubbing. Piper squeezes Siafakas to keep the lead for now. If Piper can keep ahead of Siafakas through the next section, he may well have a chance of breaking that toe and giving himself an absolute dynamite of an opportunity. Hardy in third place at the moment, has Cripps just behind. And behind Cripps is Harry Green, the winner of the first race of the night. He's on a 137.0 on lap number 6. He's got McEwen just behind. What's the gap at the front? 0.4 of a second. I wouldn't have said Piper is safe at the moment down the main straight. Hardy 1.1 behind that leading duo, who now have just 3 laps remaining. Back at the front, and oh my word, we're going to have a bit of a replay marker on that because Siafakas looks like he went straight to the wall. So he's back into the lead, in through turn 1. On board then with a Jaguar. So we're in the slipstream here of Piper. We carry on down. So, yeah, Piper starts to close the door, and Siafakas has none of it. He runs right onto the strip. And he's now currently still ahead of the Ferrari. 2.5 laps remaining here at Fuji for the sprint race. Oh, that'll look a move. Cripps on the inside of Hardy. Hardy squeezing him hard to the inside. just about maintaining that third place, but he's got a bit wide through turn 14 and 15. Cripps down the inside. Here comes Green. Green on the outside of certain turn 16 won't make that move done, but he's got a good chance down the straight. 2 laps to go. Can Piper get Siafakas? And here comes Hardy right back at Cripps. He's again squeezed towards the wall, but here comes Green on the left-hand side. They are going to be 3 wide heading into turn number 1. But Hardy retains 3rd place for now. But they are catching the 2 ahead. That massive 3-car slipstream train helping a little bit. There's McEwen, there's Scholar, there is Macy and Ross. Thompson and Austin, they're not having a great race there. But back to the leaders. They've got 1.5 laps. Piper needs to make a move at some point. Jaguar really nice at the moment, obviously. Slightly better tyres. Came in a lap later. Did the Jaguar. Piper really needs to get a good exit then out of 16. He's 7/10, but that looks like a good line. Piper closing. See if I get aggressive defence to the inside, just behind Cripps. Hardy's moved across. I'm going to keep watching this. Cripps is down the inside, but meanwhile Piper makes the move for the lead through turn 2. Green on the outside of Cripps into turn 3. Hardy trying to get his places back as well as we head through turns 4 and 5. Green down the inside for 5. Nothing Cripps can do. That McLaren was solid through there. And Cripps runs wide, losing not only 3rd but also 4th. Hardy back into the top 4. Oh, that's an interesting move from Siafakas. Down the inside of the chicane, not quite working though. Into the final set of corners. Piper needs a good exit out of turn 16. He's got a better line. Initially extends it, but here we go. Here comes the Jaguar now. Jaguar's closing at a rate of knots. Is it going to be enough? It is not going to be enough. Piper wins here at Fuji. Siafakas 2nd. Hardy claims 3rd from Cripps and McEwen. What's happened to Green? There's Shona. There is Macy. There's Edwards. There is Thompson. Oh, we didn't quite see it, but he's obviously made a mistake somewhere as Green. He's finished in 11th, Bristow 12th, Adams in 13th, 14th for Robson. But we have our 6th different winner in 6 races for the season. Fantastic record right now. No one has done a double race for victory yet. No one's won a 2nd race. And we're going to head to Nürburgring GP next week for the finale of Season 8. And I am almost certain it's going to be a fantastic race indeed. I see Green not very happy with Hardy there for some reason or another. Confirmation now that Piper is your 6th different winner. In 6 races, a fantastic result for him. And his 458 Italia has really grown to that car, really done a nice job. But like I say, it is going to be Nürburgring GP next week that decides the fate of the championship. It's going to be one hell of a fight, so do join us for the finale of the SBR Decal Labs GT3 League next week at Nürburgring. But for myself and the drivers, good night.